Hello, everybody. How's it going? We are back tonight, continuing to work on bringing Kineo into the third dimension, bringing it into spatial reality. And, yeah, we're working on the Vision version of Kineo. I don't know if you saw any of the number of places that I posted this today, but today is actually Kineo's 15th birthday. The app has been around for a very long time. It got completely rewritten like 3 years ago, so it's, not that old of a code base, but it's the app idea has been around for quite some time now. And yeah, so we're gonna continue trying to move it even further into the future. You can have a 15-year anniversary of the Kineo Vision version. Sorry you're late. You're watching the hottest team in Major League Baseball extend their league best winning streak. I have not followed baseball at all this year, so I have no idea who you're talking about, but I gotta imagine that knowing it's you and knowing you're talking to me, that it's gotta be either the Mariners or the Royals. I do know that it is not the Yankees. Somebody was complaining about it the other day. Yeah, your Kansas City Royals? Nice. I happen to know that we have another person on the stream who very much loves his Royals, so maybe he'll show up later as well. Yeah, no, the last couple of weeks, I've barely even paid too much attention to the sport that I do like, so definitely have not followed up on baseball as much. Although MLS is off right now for the Leagues Cup, so that's why they are so bad this season. Almost as bad as Compile's Royals. Wait, so now I'm confused. Who's bad this season? The Royals? Because you just said they were good. And I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not. Or are you saying the Yankees? The Yankees are bad. I don't know who you're saying is bad. But yeah, no, we're going to continue working on the Vision Pro app. So something I did off of stream. They have the longest winning streak in baseball. They also have the second worst record. Okay. So just everybody is very inconsistent this year? Is that what's going on? So somehow you can have the longest winning streak, but also not great overall. You lost like 40 games in a row and then won 3, but nobody else has been able to string 2 games together, so you're still the best in terms of winning streaks. Is that what's going on? But yeah, no, we're gonna work on this. So something that I did off stream is run things on the iPhone SE, 3rd generation. Yeah, no. Something I did off stream that we're going to look at right now that I need for the trailer that I'm trying to put together for Kineo, but which doesn't actually yet exist in visionOS, is the ability to drag and drop. Kineo is older than many fish. This is true. The ability to drag and drop subjects out of images, because Mono had the idea of what if you could drag and drop subjects out of images and use them as stickers in your app and then animate those stickers. So here we have a cat, a very identifiable cat. I'm sure EagleNot will point out this cat is not in the witness protection program, does not have any sort of identity protection at all. Although you might see one in a second. We'll figure out what exactly this is. But I need the ability to grab and lift a subject out of this image. Like I said, that doesn't exist in the simulator right now. I don't know if... I mean, it seems like it exists in visionOS as a whole. So it's got to be there somewhere. But anyway, doesn't exist right now. So if I want to have this in my video, I need to fake it. So that's what this is. And we can demonstrate that. I'm going to click and drag this cat. And look, it lifts up. It shrinks down because you're dragging it. I don't know how to get rid of this shadow. I would very much like to get rid of this shadow, but I don't think that's possible. But then, yeah, we can drag it and drop it somewhere else. And as you can see, this cat is named com.apple.foundation.nsItemProvider.arvinst. So that's the protection. Is you have no idea what this cat's name is. But yeah, and then you can just do this infinitely. Yeah, this cat is Ort Google. And yeah, let me show you how I did that. Actually, let's see if this is even visible. This is the wrong project. Let's go to this one. How did I do this? Well, I actually just have two images. I did the cutout ahead of time. And basically what we're doing is we are drawing two views on top of each other. One of the views just has the cat cutout. One of the views is everything else. Well, not everything else, everything including the cat cutout. So you can lift this, you can drag it around. We don't know which cat is real, so that's a form of protection. Yeah, that's true. You can just infinitely create copies of cats. Some might call them copycats. But yeah, so that's how that happens. We have two different views. One of them is the cat, one of them is everything. And we just drag and drop them. So let me show how that works over here. We've got this photo peeler. Oh no, I've ruined the cat hidden name idea. But yeah, it's literally just a Z stack of two images. We've got the resizable one. We've got just the cutout. It's positioned in exactly the right spot. And we gave it a draggable functionality. And so that's how you pick it up and drag that image and use it dragging it around. Do you only use Mocha as a model? I use both cats as models fairly often. The main image that I use for most things that I do is them together in a box, but I needed one that was had a very clear, like, you could see all of the body and you could lift out like the subject as a whole. And this was the best photo that I had for that kind of met those criteria, so that I could do like a nice, good subject lift. And so, yeah, Mocha got to be the model for this one because she had the more technology appropriate photo available. But yeah, no, for like, I mean, if you go look at like the Debugulator screenshots, those are both cats. Oh, hey. Let me close some of these windows. Debugulator.app. I have a bone to pick with Safari for Sonoma, which is that I had a different road image here as my background image that I used for Safari. Safari's like new image tab. New tab background image. And I did something in Safari on Sonoma and it just obliterated it, and I have no idea where it is. So I had to go to Unsplash and get a new road image because I could not find the old road image anywhere. And so, yeah, now if you're wondering about the continuity of the CocoaType live stream, you're like, wait a minute, that road looks different. That's why, because Sonoma beta deleted my old road image and I couldn't find it again. So now we've got a different road image. This one's more gloomy. I don't know how, like, it's darker. It's kind of more subdued. This one's spookier. This is the dark CocoaType area. So like it is like gloomier and spookier, but like it also feels more Seattle. So it's like this is more appropriate to like what roads look like around me more often. I mean, this road is very well paved, so not quite that accurate, but yeah, this is more what I'm feeling. Eastern Mountain? You think these are Eastern Mountains? No, this looks very like Southern Washington, Northern Oregon to me. I don't know. Like this feels like the almost the mountain passes that you get through between, like, I don't know what you call them. This feels like what I drive through to get back to Seattle from Missouri. This is at the very end. I drive up here. You get to see that. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I was proving out my point that I have both cats. This is the cat image that I normally use for models of stuff. Both of them together in the Amazon box. Really only spent time there on Whidbey Island, and that was like 15 years ago, so you're not an expert. Yeah, no, this is, yeah, those seem very much like there's like mountain passes kind of coming in. It's just like east of Seattle. Let me see if I can find this on Apple Maps without giving away my top secret location. But like, yeah, on I-90 through here, between Clay Elum and Seattle, that's the kind of thing that I'm thinking of. Just coming through here, through Snoqualmie Pass and whatnot. That's the type of area that image reminds me of. Anywho, yeah. So yeah, I've got this I've got drag working. I was about to say that I've got drag and drop working. Didn't know you all got spooky, should have known since you have a whole season for spiders though. Have you not seen the thrilling documentary about what it's like to live in Washington, known as Twin Peaks? I think that takes place in Washington, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that takes place in Washington. And/or The Twilight Saga, which takes place in Forks, Washington. Those are basically the two most accurate shows about living in Washington. Those are both good points. See, now, did I crash the app? I might have. I don't know. Anyway, what I was saying was we got drag working, and now we need to get drop working. Those are two very important parts of the same coin. So I'm going to go and actually revert part of what I did, which is, I don't know if you noticed, but when I launch the app, it now launches only cat photo. Also, I found another fun bug in the Vision Simulator, which is it crops your windows. There we go. It crops your windows if you don't relaunch the simulator every single time, which is really obnoxious. So that's why we're not getting the like nice rounded corners here. It is especially a pain in the butt if you've got a toolbar and you like relaunch the app and you don't have a toolbar anymore. So we might be doing a lot of rebooting the simulator tonight. But yeah, so what did we do? So now it's currently only launching straight to this photo. We need the ability to have it in both places. So we are going to do exactly that, basically. We're gonna go into Kineo Vision app. Yeah, I commented out all of the regular window, and then I created this new window group, which has a photo picker. We give it a default size, which is literally just the size of the image. Again, this is all totally fake, so it doesn't matter. And then, yeah, we're gonna bring this one back. That'll now be what we launch. And then I have a toolbar on my content view. And that toolbar now has a... Oh, this was another thing that I did off stream, is I massively cleaned up some of my views so that, you know, they're like short and understandable. But I created this insert button, and this insert button will open that photo picker window ID. So we're going to quit the simulator, rerun it, so that we actually can see this toolbar. Here's our drawing so far. And yeah, we'll click the plus button. That'll bring up the photo picker. And then what I would like to be able to do is drag this over to here and drop it onto that window. Currently that doesn't work. So we're going to add that functionality right now. And to do that, I think we're going to need to go to our good friend over at Hacking with Swift. Oh yeah, look at that. It was right there. How to drag and drop in SwiftUI. This is where I started. It was like, I got to remember how to drag. But now I need to remember how to drop. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, drop destination modifier, which tells SwiftUI 4 things. We only accept strings. We expect to receive an array of items that were dropped on the app. This will automatically be an array of string. So drop destination for whatever. This is what we get. And then location. Yeah, I guess we do care about the location. Yeah, so I think that's fine. Handling images is a little trickier because we'll be given a data instance representing the contents of the image. We need to convert that to a UI image and then put the result into an image to render. Fortunately, if we support data, then both will work. So code like this lets the user drag and drop an image from photos. Yeah, okay. So it sounds like we basically are just going to do this. Drop destination for data. And let's go put that on our... Yeah, how are we going to represent this locally? That's the other problem. So we've got our canvas view. Hurrah. Oh, our canvas... Okay, no, we've got a canvas view, but then we've also got a canvas. And I think that what we need to do... So our canvas returns our canvas view, which is just a PK canvas. So I almost feel like we need something higher level than this. So let's go back to our content view. Because we have the canvas. But I almost kind of want to add this to the content view itself. So what if we put this Z stack in back? Bring this up, bring that up, bring that there. We're gonna leave these commented out. So that'll have that, but then I think we also need, yeah, our drag destination. Is that not what it was? Drop destination. There we go. It gives us items and location, but I think we also are gonna want our 4. I don't know what is targeted means. We can come back to that one. Oh, that's probably like, is this a valid drop thing? But yeah, so we're gonna say data.self, and we're gonna close that there. Use our nice little trailing closure syntax. And then I think, yeah, guard. Now this is what's interesting, is that I think we only want to take one image at a time, because otherwise things are going to be a little chaotic. But yeah, let's go ahead and say guard let first image equals items dot first. I guess first item, items dot first. Let first image equals UI image with data first item. Else return. Non-void function should return a value. What are we supposed to be returning here? Action returns a Boolean. Okay. Okay, so we will return false. And then in here we can return true. And I think all we're gonna do is we're just gonna say we're gonna have a, let's do an array of, we need like a new struct. This is gonna be a sticker. I don't know. That's a terrible name. We're gonna call it like, yeah, we're gonna call it sticker for now because I don't have a better name for it. And that is going to have a, we'll at least call it, we'll call it sticker placement. It has an image and it has a location. Yeah, that seems reasonable. So then what we really want is let image equals image, UI image, first image. Let placement equals sticker placement with image. Actually, let's just drop this into here. Boop. Boop. Remove that unnecessary middle item. And location. So we have our placement. And then I think what we want to do is we want to add we want an array of placements here. So state, private, var, placements equals sticker placement. So an array of sticker placements. It starts out as an empty array. Placements dot append placement. So that'll do that. I think that's really all we care about right now. So we're going to do that. So that should handle our drop. Now what we need after that is we need to actually put these images in the view. So we're going to say, we're going to have a for each here in our Z stack. I think we'll eventually move these into the different layers, but for now, I think a for each works best. For each. Yeah, we're going to need more things than that, aren't we? For each, placements. ID, we need some kind of ID here. Image dot. Yeah, we need like we need some kind of unique identifier. Can we get anything like that off of a, I mean, we're saying data.image. I guess the easiest way would just be to like create a hash from this. Ooh, so that, here's what we could really do. We could say init with data and location. And we'll make this a failable initializer. And we can move that guard here. We'll return nil. Oops. And then we can say guard let placement. We still need, no, we still need this. Guard let first item. There. Guard let first item equals that. Let placement is now going to take in data, which is first item. Guard let UI image equals UI image, else return nil. And then we're just going to say self.image equals image, UI image, UI image. Self.location equals location. Yeah? Seems reasonable. So then now, yeah, we have the first item, we have the placement. We need to maintain our guard. And then we just append our placement. There we go. That makes life a little bit easier. And then, yeah, we can say let ID int. And this will be our hash here. So we'll just hash that data, which I think is a thing that exists. Like data is hashable. So yeah, we're going to just say self.id equals data.hash value. And now we can make this identifiable. And then I guess we don't need our ID anymore. So yeah, now we've got all of our placements. I think all we're just going to say is placement dot image dot position Placement dot position. Why didn't that work? Placement dot location. That makes a lot more sense. Now, you know what I actually realized that we can do? We can actually make this conform, this sticker placement conform to view directly. And then it can have a body, and that body is just image dot position location. Ta-da. And then this just needs to be that. And then nothing of this, well, the ID still needs to be public. Sorry, not public, but internal. You know what I mean? But yeah, we can just make this whole thing conform to view. And then put that right there. All right. Let's see if any of this works. So we need our view. I need to figure out how to make this smaller so that I can have a better experience. We're going to drag that. I said we're going to drag that. I said we're going to drag that. There we go. And then, yeah. Drag and drop on the simulator. Not super simple. Turns out. How are we gonna do that? Because yeah, we need to basically say go over here. I need the ability to move in 3D with this. Oh god, that didn't work at all. Come over here. Oh, hey, there we go. Drop. Oh, look at that. Perfect. I mean, relatively perfect. Here, we're gonna reconnect my Xbox controllers to see if that helps us get things in drag and drop. Yeah, this is the problem, is that that's like way far away. So we're gonna back up like that. There we go. Bloop. Now that didn't add a new one. Why didn't that add a new one? Because we should be dropping new ones each time. Is there something wrong with our location? Just try to hit Command Tab on my Xbox controller. It's not a thing. Okay, let's grab this one again. Back up. Come on. Come on. Drop over here. Why won't you drop now? There we go. So we did get a location, 97,182. So that should have updated our placements array, which should force a re-render, and it does. Okay. How many placements do we have? PO placement. Oh, I know why this isn't working. Because we're using the same image over and over again. And therefore, we have the same hash value over and over again. And therefore, we have the same ID over and over again. So therefore, we only have one. So yeah, I guess we should not use our hash as our ID. We should use something new. I guess, yeah, I guess it's just going to be a UUID. Which, I mean, fine. Nothing wrong with the UUID, but I wanted it to be a little bit more stable. Oh well, you can't win them all. Also, we need to reboot the simulator now. Yeah, no, Apple, working on something that requires drag and drop. It'd be great for you to send me a developer kit, because it turns out dragging and dropping on the simulator is kind of a pain. All right, let's try this again. That over here. Pick up our cat. Put the cat over here. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so now we're appending our placement. Hooray! Cat number 1. Okay, let's move back forward, and let's get another cat. Come on. Come on. Hooray! Now we have 2 cats. Okay. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to, Yeah, no, I think that's a good starting point. We'll do that. Let's just go ahead and commit that. Did we do anything here that needs to be removed? It doesn't look like it. Oh, let's move our sticker placement into a new file. Okay, so now that is actually going to make things a little bit hard. I don't know how we're going to like move things around on the board if we can't what's the word I'm looking for? If I can't if I can't easily drag around, like I can't position what I'm trying to do, it's going to be pretty hard for me to actually manipulate that. Like if I want to move these guys around from what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, I'm having trouble with words right now. If I want to move them around on the canvas, if I am having trouble positioning things in 3D space with the simulator, that's going to make it really kind of a pain for me to actually try to test this. But we'll find out. We'll see what we get. We've got our canvas here. We've got our Z-stack. We've got our for each. I think what we need to do now is like a gesture recognizer that can tell when we're doing stuff. So let's go try that. And I think what we're going to say basically is if you touch one of the image placements, yeah, no, this is going to be the other tricky part, is, yeah, I think eventually what I'm going to do is you're going to have different types of layers, and each layer can only have one type of item in it. So you're going to have a canvas layer, you're going to have an image layer, you're going to have a color layer. You're not going to have a mix of them like this, but unfortunately I think like that's too much work for me to do before I want to have this trailer ready. So we're gonna just mix and match them for now. Or rather, they're kind of gonna, this Z-stack is gonna be that layer. So you'll have the canvas, you've got all of these on top of it. I think that'll be the big thing that we do. So yeah, here's our placements. And then, yeah, I think what we want to do is we want to put like a dragging recognizer on these placements. I did actually do that on stream at one point. Let's see if I can go find that. It was like a layout something or other. Nope, this is Twitch. What am I doing? Probably in the toys area. Drag. Hey, here we go. Yeah, how are we doing this? So we created a drag layout that rearranged things. We have a drag gesture. Now, did we create the drag gesture or did we? Yeah, no, this is something that is part of the system. So we just said var gesture sum gesture is a drag gesture and on changed position equals value dot location. So I guess I could apply this drag gesture to the like sticker placement itself. Yeah, why don't I just try that? So we're gonna go back to Kineo. Oh yeah, I was talking about the 15th birthday of Kineo earlier today. I did have the original code for this. I found it. I had it running in a simulator earlier. Looks kind of gross, but it does technically run. Yeah, this was the first version of Kineo from back in the day. Look at this color picker. You just flip the whole screen around, and you get to pick between your 9 colors. Then you can draw things. I still can't draw.
Looks kinda gross.
Looks kind of gross. It is kind of gross. Yeah. You want to know like where the thing to change your line width is? Doesn't exist. You want to know where your thing to, you know, erase is? You've got white paint. You cover up the orange paint with white paint. There's your eraser. Here's your slidey slide. Does that. You can create new pages. You can do all these things. Does the white paint still animate? It does. Yeah, there's that. This is our exciting thing. We're gonna not save our animation. We're gonna go create a brand new one. Try to be a little bit less bad at it. But hey, no. What I want to say. Look at this. Watch this. Down in this bottom right corner. What? Like, there's no plus button here from the beginning until you draw the first one. Watch the animation on this. Look at that. We did that back in 1998. No, sorry, this was 2008. That was cool stuff back in those days. Had an animation like that, man. That was why this app was successful. This is why this app still exists. Yeah. You want to know where undo is? Because I just screwed that up. You don't have undo. That was it. This should have taken place at the beer drinking app. Why not both? Like, come on. Yeah, there's no undo on this app. I screwed up with that orange thing. Like, nope. Or wait, maybe there is. Hold on. Is this the before they were famous stream? No, this was before when it was famous. And now it's not famous anymore. Everybody's forgotten about this. Yeah, can we just do a shake? Maybe that was undo. Hang on, let's draw something. Yeah, we might have supported undo via a shake, but I don't think that this will trigger it. Because this was before you had the shake gesture recognizer. This was just like, I think we had to do our own like detection of that. Anyway, that's the first version of, well, this is not exactly the first version of Kineo. This is like Kineo 1.2. But yeah, no. That was the cool version of Kineo back in the day. Oh, I just killed all of the simulators. That's okay. How you doing, KNH? Yeah, no, I brought that back up again because, yeah, today is Kineo's 15th birthday. So that is what Kineo looked like. I think that one was technically 14 years ago. But, hey, there were... I don't have the source code to the very OG original version. Although it was all in Git, so I guess I could have just, like, walked back in Git a little bit. Figured out where our first launch was. All of that. But yeah, no, we're going to continue working on the new Kineo, the real Kineo. And we want to go find our sticker placement. And yeah, so we've got this image, we've got a position, and then I think we want to add our gesture. And we're going to say drag gesture. I don't think we need any sort of distance to it. Let's do this like this. On changed. What is dot value? Let's go find our drag. On changed value equals position equals value dot location. location equals value dot location. Location is a let constant. Ooh, okay. So do we need to make this a state? Private var location? Self location used before being initialized. Underscore location equals state initial value location. Yeah, that works. Okay. Pixel Pulsed, redeemed Switch music genre. Do you have a preference for music genres? I can play the, pick one, but happy to take things. The only iOS dev streamer I know of. I can fix that for you real quick. Don't try Jazz, they removed it. I think they brought it back. But yeah, no, iOS dev streamers. I'm going to give you a whole rundown of them. I say, first of all, check out Compile Swift. He does a lot of both Swift dev, but also game dev in Swift. He does like SpriteKit dev. He's currently working on an endless runner game, doing a lot of cool stuff there, and just generally working on kind of banging out the same sort of apps. 2008 top 40 a music genre? It is not, unfortunately. Not royalty free, at least. Jay Wilson. He is a streamer that kind of does a lot of SwiftUI tutorials type stuff, and is working on right now trying to basically recreate the Instagram UI in SwiftUI. So trying to build out like all of the little functionality bits, all of the custom user interface stuff that you see in Instagram, building out the feed, building out the like stories, building all of that kind of UI in SwiftUI, just to kind of train people how to do this kind of stuff in SwiftUI. And then you got Nuttify. Nuttify does a lot of SwiftUI as well, but Nuttify gets way more into the like drawing aspects of SwiftUI. So you can see his avatar there. That was all drawn in SwiftUI, and just kind of building it up from basic shapes and that kind of stuff. And he's currently working on a book all about shapes in SwiftUI. And then we've been trying to bully Mono to stream again. Mono hasn't streamed in a while. Mono is had been working on a app that he is porting from Android to iOS. He's learning SwiftUI along the way. He's kind of he actually did this in KMM, so it's Kotlin multi-platform. All of the like back-end logic of his app is still in Kotlin, and then he's building SwiftUI front end on top of it. But yeah, no, I recommend all of those streamers, and yeah, check them all out. There's also Michaela Carone, who is not on Twitch, and so I don't have a button for her. But yeah, also a recommendation. She's on YouTube. You can just search Michaela, Mikaela, I think. Sorry, I should really have a button for her as well that links to her YouTube page, but I don't, because I just put all the Twitch streamers on there. So, but yeah, no, if you are interested in people streaming iOS dev, there's a nice big list for you. Yeah, we never did get around to switching the music genre. Let's go find that. There's one in here that just says chess. I have no idea what kind of music you have to chess. Ooh, there. So, okay. I mean, this is probably before 2000. Yeah, no, never mind. I'm not going to do this one. Say there's one just called VHS. but I feel like that's a little too similar to what we're already playing. So we're gonna go with. They still have the Yacht Rock channel. That was always a fun one. Yeah, let's go grab that one. Go on. There we go. There we go. Nice. All right. So yeah, let's go back to here. And yeah, we set up this drag gesture, and this is just for any sticker placement. So we need to actually put a sticker placement up. And then we'll see if we can get... Where'd my other window go? My other window just disappeared. Let's start that over again. Oh crap! I just quit Xcode instead of the simulator. Okay, we're gonna pretend none of that just happened. Kineo. Yep, that's what we want. Hey Donuts, how are you doing? All right, we'll see that this doesn't destroy our window this time. It did. What is happening to our window? A lot better since it's Friday. Yeah, that's definitely a good point. Yeah, why is this suddenly destroying our window? We didn't change anything that would have made it destroy our window, right? Yeah, our only change to this view is like deleting that, and then we changed what this does. We set up this location, but like we shouldn't have any of these sticker placements yet. Like nothing in here is doing anything. Yeah, and those are our only two changes. Why is this suddenly breaking our window? This is the other problem. I understand why they had to completely redo how the visualizations work in here, but at the same time, I want them to. I want to have a place where it's just like. Here is your windows rendered in 2D, just so you can kind of see what's going on. Have you tried restarting Xcode? If not, we can do it for you. So this all started when I accidentally restarted Xcode by hitting Command Q on the wrong thing. So maybe that is what I need to do, is I just need to restart it again. It didn't like this launch. Yeah. No, I tried to quit the simulator because the simulator's been a little buggy for me the last couple days. Thank you, KNH. You can restart it every 5 minutes if you want. Yeah. We'll reboot it multiple times. I'm helping. I wonder if we can get Nutter to do a Ralph Wiggum impersonation. We'll ask him if he shows up. Or tomorrow, if he's on stream. He should be on stream tomorrow, so. Yeah, look at that. It's just deleting our window. Okay, what's... What is going on here? We've got... We've got our Canvas toolbar content. Our Canvas toolbar content has our insert button. Our insert button says open window. That's all it says. There's no open window and then close the old window because we don't want the old window anymore. That was to celebrate your window not deleting, so maybe bad timing. But it did deleting. Open a window that's associated with the specified identifier. Open a window defined by the window group that prevents the specified value type and that's associated with the specified identifier. Yeah, no, I mean, like, we're not doing anything to close that window. I kind of wonder, okay, so here's what we're going to do first. We're going to try making this window, like, smaller. This is not going to work right anymore, but we're going to make the window smaller just so that I can see, like, if anything weird happens with regarding to how it disappears. Also, now we do have to reboot the simulator because now we don't have a toolbar anymore. Which is the actual bug that I've been having at the simulator up until just now when I started not, like, my windows just disappearing. See, I don't know why opening this other window would... Look at that. Okay, so now making that window smaller didn't do anything. Also, yeah, you can see clearly how this works now because we've got the cutout misplaced. Okay, so if I just bring that back, does that cause my problems to come back? Well, we'll find out. We'll find out, but that could also be just rebooting the simulator again is now going to cause it to break. Okay, there we go. This time it stuck around. I don't know what's going on, but whatever. We'll call it good. Okay, so we're going to drag our photo. And then, yeah, we're going to try to get this into the window. Come on. There we go. Drop. Okay. Now that we've dropped that, we should be a little bit... Hey, look at that. Now we can move our cat around. Look at that. Perfect cat-shaped thing. So yeah, I guess the next thing that we would want to do, can we add like a pinch gesture? How many gestures can we add here? I also feel like I want to start with one so that I don't have to do that drag and drop every single time. Because that is kind of a pain in the butt. Let's go just give ourselves a default sticker placement. Ooh. We need a data. Can we create a UI image? This is such a hack. I don't care. Mocha cutout dot PNG data. Location is CG point. We're just gonna give it like a 200. I think it's probably fine. Value of optional type data must be unwrapped to a value of type data. Okay, you know what? We're gonna do it that way. And then initializer requires. Oh, this also needs to be force unwrap. No, not that one. That one. Okay, so we're just gonna force unwrap just to have something to test so that we don't have to do that opening that window, which apparently doesn't necessarily always work. And then the weird like drag and drop that we have to do. I'm definitely hearing the yacht in this yacht rock, but I'm not hearing the rock. This is yacht easy listening. Okay, here we get to keep that. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, cool. So now we have a default placement to work with. We can, yeah, let's see what other kinds of gestures we can add to this. I also have no idea what some of these gestures are gonna be in the real world, so we're gonna just kind of try it. So is there like a resize gesture? What are my gesture options? Conforms to gesture. Any gesture, drag gesture, exclusive gesture, long press gesture, magnification gesture, magnify gesture. Do we want a magnification gesture or do we want a magnify gesture? And then we also have a rotation gesture and a rotate gesture. I don't know which one's the right one. Any gesture. Yeah. I'm assuming any gesture is just like a type erasure type thing. Kind of like any publisher. Yeah, type erase gesture. But yeah, it is also like, yeah, just do whatever you want. It's fine. Don't worry about it. There's also the gesture state gesture. Okay, so I forgot. Yeah, which one? Okay, so magnify gesture, and then there's magnification gesture, and then magnification gesture is deprecated. Use magnify gesture instead. Because it's the same thing, but with a better name, I guess. That's fine. My guess is that this other one... Okay, so it is in visionOS 1.0 and immediately deprecated. That's fine. Gesture that recognizes a magnification motion and tracks the amount of magnification. So yeah, let's give ourselves a magnify. I've already forgotten which one is the right one again. Magnify gesture. This struct may not be available in this context. Unchanged. Who hasn't released something and then immediately renamed it? Yeah. Fair. Okay, so now I guess what we need is a... When you join and the first word you hear is arg. Yeah, no, that's fair. Hey, I'm working on your feature, so that's why it's happening. He's a pirate. Arg. So I guess, yeah, I'm just going to print value or dump value, I guess, here. Classic blade mono deflection. Exactly. Hey, these need to be two separate things, don't they? Gesture. Magnify gesture. You think you're the closest thing to a pirate here? No, that's leg, not arm. Come on. Oh, I guess you Captain Hook. Okay, fine. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm with you. Okay, so we need to figure out how to do a pinch gesture on here. Yeah. Okay, I mean, that works. All right, well, what information are we getting out of here? We have a magnified gesture value with time, magnification, velocity, start anchor, start location, and platform? Platform. Gives us a magnify value in 3D. Okay, cool. All right, so the problem is, like, this magnification is going to be... Basically, if we pinch it multiple times, it's going to change what we have, but that's fine for what we have right now. We don't really have to fix this perfectly. Private var scale equals or sorry, this would be just like a CG float. CG layer. Yep, that's what I wanted. 1.0. And then we can say, you're excited for the Sticker Theater app? Yep. We're working on it. So yeah, scale equals value dot magnification. Yeah, no, so we have so far gotten it that you are able to drag and drop from a different window into here. When you do that drag and drop, you get the image. You're able to drag the image around, and now what we're trying to do is trying to make it so that you can pinch to zoom out the image. Which, okay. Derp. I was like, doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Yeah, no, we're probably changing the scale, but the scale has nothing to do with this at all. So like, it doesn't actually do anything. So I think we need a transform effect. Can we actually just do scale effect? That's a scale effect. That's definitely a thing. Scale is CG size. I think we just want scale is CG size, width, scale, height, scale. Look at that. It doesn't, yeah. You don't get a whole lot of distance out of it, but it does exist. And you can really zoom in. You can't really zoom out all that much. Although I wonder, hang on, if I start like here. No, that doesn't really work. Yeah. But yeah, no, so we have the ability to move and shrink it at least a little bit. Okay. I guess the last thing that we would want would be rotate, right? So yeah, let's do our at state private var rotation. Clearly uses personality level for cat, refuses to be small. Yes. The cat's like, no. But cats are small. They're so cute. They're just little tiny babies. Mocha can't refuse to be small. Let's see. So yeah, now we get to go figure out which one of rotation gesture and rotate gesture is the right one. Yeah, I assume it's rotate gesture. Okay, what does this give us? See, now the thing that would be nice is if it would link us to rotate gesture dot value in here, which doesn't seem to have any documentation at all. You know, why would you want that? Rotate gesture unchanged. Apple, why don't you let me or autocomplete to the other syntax anymore? All right, let's see what values we get out of rotate. None at all. I assumed that was how I did the rotate gesture, but apparently not. What happens if I get rid of the magnify gesture? Okay, so that worked. Yeah, no, Pixel Pulse said, hey, I need to know some more iOS dev streamers, and I listed all of them. Not all of them. I listed most of them. I listed all of the ones that I watch regularly. There are a couple others. I will leave it to the people who watch those other developers to do it. But I know like Mono watches Biozol. I still have not managed to catch one of his streams. Ivar's, who I never managed to catch either because his is on a different time zone than me. Don't think he's streamed in a while. Yeah. That's also like I can't keep up with necessarily like who streams and who doesn't. Yeah. So yeah, there's a couple others, but yeah, I listed the ones that I know and follow pretty often. Creative Pepper. Okay, yeah. So I have not. Yeah, that Mario guy hasn't streamed in a while either. Eaglenot. He needs to get back to doing what he does. Okay, so we have a rotation in radians. So yeah, let's start with our rotation. I guess our rotation in radians then would be 0 by default. Thought about starting streaming just to keep you accountable on side projects. Hey, it's not even just accountable, it's like motivation. So yeah, no, I find that a useful case here as well. I have a very high tendency, like I'm gonna go work on a thing and I'm not gonna stream it right now because I'm, you know, it's the middle of the night. It's, you know, prime time to be doing stuff in New Zealand, but not in Seattle, Washington. But no, there's definitely been times where I want to work on that kind of thing, and then I won't be streaming, and just like, oh no, I went and got distracted on something else instead. I mean, literally last night that happened. Came down here, and I'm like, I'm gonna work on some more of this stuff for Kineo, and I'm gonna get that, you know, like I'm gonna get more of this ready to do the trailer and have that trailer released out. And I came down here to do work on Kineo, and what I ended up doing was completely redoing the BD's app website. So this looks a lot nicer than it did before. It's not bright orange and burning your face. And then I also wrote the blog post about Kineo's, oh, that's not it. Kineo's 15th birthday. So, yeah, no, I definitely did these things instead of working on actually updating the app. Dark mode is best mode. This does also have a light mode, whereas before the only mode that it had was orange. Like this color orange was the background of the whole view. It was like bright orange background, white text over the top of that, and then like a bright white email field. That was what was there. And yeah. Those updates are part of the app dev release process and just as important. Yeah, I mean, this app isn't done enough to be released yet, so I don't know that it was that important. I mean, to be fair, neither is the Kineo thing, but I kind of feel like this has a slight more time pressure than the other one does. I don't know. Let's give this a rotation effect. Dot angle radians. Rotation. So then we'll take our rotation. You need to fix your privacy policy in order to release and not get Facebook banned. See, I back in the day, a couple years ago, I don't know why I worded it like that. A couple years ago, Marco Arment, who is the developer of Overcast, if you're not familiar with that, was on his podcast, not HTTP, the other one, Under the Radar, and basically was talking about privacy policies and this kind of stuff. And he's like, yeah, I had a lawyer draft mine up, and I know that not everybody can afford that, so if you're an indie dev and you want a good privacy policy, just steal mine. And I absolutely took him up on that offer. So all of my privacy policies are basically copy and pastes of Overcast's privacy policy with just the bits changed that are relevant to me. So I know there's also like a generator online that some people like. I don't remember where it is, but yeah, there's like a privacy policy generator out there. But yeah, that's where I get all of my privacy policies, is just I kind of copied the Overcast one and then changed up what was relevant to me. And then, yeah, his is also this way, or at least was when I copied it, that it's kind of very, like, not technical. It's not in legalese. It's missing important info like user data deletion. Yeah. That's the other nice thing, is that, like, I don't have to worry about it too much because I don't really store too much. And so it's like logging. I don't know. I guess if you send me your IP address, maybe I could go delete. It's not really anything. Yeah. User data deletion. Tell me what your email was and I'll delete all your emails. That's about it. There's not too much that I'm collecting for anything. So, and then I think black highlighter is similar. I think black highlighter has, crash reports now. So that's affixed. It's the analytics platforms. Yeah. So like I store the crash analytics and I store, I actually do need to update this one because this needs to include telemetry deck. Crap. Yeah, so yeah, I very much use the like, privacy preserving analytics stuff. So yeah, telemetry deck's a big one. There's completely anonymized. There's no way that I can, figure out users from this. It's even like bucketed per hour, so you can't even like track somebody over time. It's just like, nope, these events, this is the count of events that happened. Here's when they happened, etc., etc. Used to try to use ads to monetize, but it's a pain with little ROI. Yeah. I've considered doing ads, and then something that I talked about on a stream in the past. This is one bug that I don't like with telemetry deck, which is that it always shows the latest date. And so like this day just started. So it always looks like it just plummets right at the end. Something that I was working on was like, I wanted to try to, and people who have been watching this stream for a little while may remember this because this only happened a couple months ago. Where I was like, I'm going to build like some cheap apps and I'm going to just market them with advertising and I'm going to release them under a completely different company name. And, then I realized I hated that and I didn't want to do it. So I stopped. At your peak, you got up to 100 a month in analytics, just the tiny banner ad in a non-annoying place. Yeah, no, I haven't really. Yeah, so I've never done ads. But yeah. What do you think about the new policy describing the use of required reason API? It's definitely an interesting policy. I saw that. I think that is going to be, for these analytics libraries like Anna's talking about, I think that's going to be kind of a big deal. I do like that they waited until after they had a way for the companies themselves, the providers of these analytics libraries, had a way to kind of fill out that form for you, because they've got the, privacy like receipts. I don't remember what they call them. Developer.apple.com. Manifest, privacy manifest, I think is what they called them. And so you can actually bundle that with your framework and say like, this is what we're using. This is how we're doing that. And you don't have to go in as an app and like look at everybody's, docs page and go like, well, what are you tracking? I'm glad that they waited until after that. But yeah, a lot of these analytics libraries, and especially the like bug tracking type ones, use a lot of that data. I know like the big one is like storage space. Every bug tracking thing that I've ever seen is like, oh yeah, we're going to log how much storage space you're using because, it's interesting to know whether this bug only happens when users are low on disk space. And now Apple's like, no, you can't send that data off of the device. You can read it and you can like say that you are reading it and declare that you are going to read it. But even if you do read it, you can't share that data with a third-party server, or like even a first-party server. You just can't get that information at all. And so I think that's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. User defaults is another weird one. It's like, basically using user defaults. You always have to declare it now. User defaults is a very commonly used project. So interested to see how some of that works. Yeah, like I use user defaults for all kinds of stuff in this app. There's, yeah, export formats, export shape. And so, yeah, I'm going to have to declare, yeah, I use user defaults. It's just a thing that I do to store this. And, yeah, figure out what effect that has on my app. Yeah, even user defaults, yeah. Where was that? That was like developer.apple.com/news. Yeah. Yeah, it was like, okay, yeah, no, this seems reasonable. And then I started looking at the list of APIs, and even then it's like, yeah, this seems fine. You know, like creation date, I actually think I do use creation and modification date to sort the gallery in. I use the creation date to sign in, or to arrange. Geez, why am I having so much trouble getting the sentence out? I use creation and modification date to arrange the gallery by most recently edited. So I'm going to have to say this as well. To display file timestamps to the person using device. Access the timestamps of the file inside the app container, app group container, or the apps CloudKit container. Yeah. Yeah, no, so I think I will have C617.1. System boot time APIs, I don't deal with that. Although mock absolute time, I don't use mock absolute time directly, but I think anytime you use CA display link, that also does that. To persist a user token so you don't have to relog in every single... Well, so user token like that, you should probably store in the keychain anyway and not use your defaults. But yeah, no, I mean, that makes sense. You have to ship a Swift data now instead. It seems like maybe. Also, I kind of wonder... So there's user defaults. But I wonder, does like NS ubiquitous key value store... Maybe you just switch everything over to that, and this is basically user defaults, but in iCloud. That would be another way of doing it. It's just like, okay, I'm not using NS user defaults. I'm using NS ubiquitous key value store, and so I don't fall afoul of this. Yeah, but I mean, most of the rest of these I don't think are going to be a problem. I mean, I don't think any of them are going to be a problem because I'm not doing any of the things that are bad, and neither are, as far as I know, any of the libraries that I use. But, yeah, I'm just going to have to declare that, yes, I do use the file modification date. I do use user defaults. And I don't think it's going to be a big deal after that. 404 not found. Were you selected to get the Vision Pro dev kit? We read through the documentation on stream a couple weeks ago, and I am not allowed to say whether I did or not, is what I would say if I had actually agreed to that agreement yet by filling it out. So I have not actually filled out the agreement yet. So no, I have not been granted a Vision Pro dev kit because I have not actually even applied to get a Vision Pro dev kit yet. That is what I'm trying. I'm trying desperately to work on like my pitch tonight. That's kind of what I'm doing. I did not ever fill it out. No, I went through and read all of everything and figured out like what I would need to fill out. So if I go look at craft, I kind of like, yeah, I had some writing about what I've got. Yeah, here, Kineo Live Research. No, this is not it. Vision Pro. Yeah, DTK application. Yeah, I've got, here's everything that I'm going to want to fill out, but I have not actually filled it out yet. Anyone else getting the feeling that mobile dev is getting a little crazy with all this legal stuff? I'd rather just sign a document saying I'm not evil and doing anything with your data. unfortunately, the people who are evil and doing things with your data have ruined it for everybody else. So, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, there's a lot of dealing with this legal stuff. I think somebody above, I don't know if I ever got to that comment, said like, oh, you've got to deal with the EU now and all of the changes going on there about shipping data overseas. Did I just make that up? That entire... Oh, yeah. Donuts Ahoy. It's going to get even worse with the shenanigans the EU is trying to pull with OSS projects. Yeah. Yeah, no. It's definitely going to get harder to just have some of this kind of stuff. And unfortunately, I think that some of these cases are almost going to make... I'm trying to figure out how to say what I'm going to say without breaking my own no politics rule. I just want to build fun apps. Yeah, exactly. I think that there's going to be a case with some of these where they're actually going to backfire a little bit, and they're going to entrench the companies that are already doing evil, because those are going to be the ones that have the resources to handle this. So like, it's going to suck for people like me and Mono to try to deal with all of these legal things, but it's, you know, hiring one more lawyer for Facebook. Like, it's not that big of a pain for them. Whereas for people like us, yeah, I can't afford lawyers. That's if you go and read my 15th anniversary blog post about Kineo, that's why it's called Kineo and not Flipbook, is because somebody had their lawyer friend sent me a cease and desist saying, no, I got the app name first. He totally hadn't. You know, sent me a cease and desist, and I thankfully like was able to talk to like a not IP, but like business, like entrepreneurship type lawyer, or not. I don't think he was technically a lawyer. Anyway, there was legal aid available via my university, and specifically for like entrepreneurship type stuff. And he was like, yeah, you're totally in the right. You don't have anything to worry about here, but like, this guy might sue you, and if you do, you don't have the resources to back this up, so you might as well just change your name and make him happy. And yeah, I didn't have the resources to back it up, so that is why Kineo is called Kineo, because I didn't want to do that. Barely afford as in, why should I pay for all my users' fun experiences at my expense? I mean, hey, it's basically all I do with my apps, except I'm paying for it with time rather than most actual funds. You know, I guess I'm paying for the single VPS that hosts all of my websites and the $99 a year developer fee. Not doing too much funding of developer experiences other than that, but yeah, no, definitely a lot of time. Wix, baby. Yeah. Well, I mean, so, okay, how cheap is Wix? Because, yeah, I basically just put up a single server and just everything is just plain HTML. My monetization strategy is money and hopefully exceeds money out. Yeah, no, I definitely pay less than $16 a month for Wix. Oh, free if you don't mind it looking cookie cutter? Where's the free plan? This is free domain. Have they just like hidden their free plan somewhere? I know that there's a lot of companies that do that. It's free with their branding all over it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, I use a VPS provider called Hetzner.com. I switched to them from Linode, and to host all of my websites, I pay like $3. Yeah, rather get a Hetzner VPS for $4.95. I think I pay less than $4.95 for it. I think it's like $3 something. Yeah, no, it's been awesome. Yeah. Yep. Definitely agree with you on that. Hetzner is what I use for all of my websites right now. I do still have my Git GitLab instance? Yeah, 395. That sounds more right. It's like 3 something euro. And so what does that convert to in US dollars? What I actually get charged in? But yeah, that's about what I pay, is 3 something. Yeah, my Git host, my hosted GitLab is still on Linode because I don't want to try to do the migration of this. Every time I've tried to touch the data on GitLab, it's been giant pain. So I have kind of like avoided moving this over to Hetzner as well. But yeah, no, that's why this one is on Linode still. But everything else is on Hetzner, and it's been great. All right, let's get back to this. Eaglenaut, are you actually taking the bar? I feel like you said that, and I can't tell if that's a joke or not. All right, yeah, we were working on rotation. Yeah, let's get this. So we got our rotation effect. So we're just gonna say value dot rotation equals rotation. So this has like a start location. It'd be nice if this also had a start rotation. The pandemic ruined you going to law school? That's a bummer. Value dot rotation. Oh, did I not? No, I have this backwards. Rotation equals value dot rotation. Lurk mode you're learning, go. Nice. Cannot assign value. Oh, so this is an angle. Okay. Equals angle dot radians 0. So then this can just be rotation. Yeah, Go's fun. Go's like if Objective-C were like 10 years newer. Which, to be fair, Go is significantly more than 10 years newer than Objective-C. But Go kind of felt like a retro language from when it was released. But that's also kind of like part of its benefits. I don't know. It feels like, hey, we took the lessons that we learned over doing development, over like programming language experience, and we built the best possible version of C without making it something different from C. And so yeah, that's kind of why I say it feels like the same path as like from C to Objective-C and then to Go. Whereas I would say something like Swift or Rust or, you know, certainly anything like Python or anything or Ruby or anything like that are complete departures from C. Go just feels like C, but good. Yeah, we set our rotation. Zig is fun too. I've never played with Zig. I'm not familiar with Zig. Hey, here we go. Here's what passes for rotation. It's fast. A Go is fast, not Zig. I'm not familiar with Zig. I feel like I've heard of it. It's like Rust, but not crazy. General purpose programming language and toolchain for maintaining robust, optimal, and reusable software. So yeah, it looks like more trying to be better than C. Supports cross compilation. So it's like it's backwards compatible with C? Okay, yeah. I mean, that's definitely cool. I've never heard of any of these sponsors, but yeah. You hear Kotlin is pretty good? Eh. The best part of Zig is that you're not writing C. Yeah. I mean, this looks a little rusty, but yeah, I mean, most of the rest of it does not look nearly as intense as Rust. So we got our rotation, we got our magnification. We weren't able to get them both at the same time, but I'm guessing that there's actually, if we do a simultaneous gesture, which I saw on that list, that probably will do it. So can I do like simultaneous gesture? Hey, look, first and second. No one cares about Kotlin unless you're Android native, and then it's the best. Yeah, I wish some of the other JVM languages had taken off for Android development, and they didn't, and I don't know why. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Kotlin. Kotlin's a pretty good language. It's just I don't feel like I understand why it needed to exist versus like Scala or Clojure. Or what was that version of Ruby on the JVM? Is that Iron Ruby? Or no, Iron Ruby was on the CLR. Is the Flutter word banned here? No. We're welcoming of all ecosystems. Worst part of Kotlin is Gradle. I mean, yeah. Again, that's part of why I liked Clojure so much, is because it has some of these build tools, but the build tools that it uses are not Gradle. You got Leiningen and Boot, and those are both very good JVM ones. Maven, eh. Yeah, Leiningen and then Boot, Clojure. Yeah, Boot, CLJ. And these all... Well, apparently Boot is no longer a thing, and it's been replaced by literally things about boots. I don't know what happened to that. Yeah, what happened to Boot Clojure? Hang on. Why is their website just gone? Did this die so hard that their website is gone away? Yeah, it looks like it did. Wow. Shows how much I've kept up with this. Doesn't work on macOS Big Sur. Okay, yeah. Well, Gradle is better than that then. Gradle is better than your build tool ceasing to exist and the website being taken over by a domain squatter. I will say it's better than that. Is it though? Gradle can't even parallel download dependencies, very slow in a multi-platform code base. Only the first sync. Yes. Yeah, no, I had to download, hey, thanks for the sub gift, Eaglenaut, and thanks for the, or I guess, congratulations to Donuts Ahoy. Yeah, no, I had to download the, or I had to open up the Android project at work the other day, and I kickstarted it, and it just kept going, and I was like, what is... Like, why is this taking so long to run on the first time? And yeah, it took like 11 minutes to fetch all of the dependencies. I was like, yikes. I thought SPM could be slow sometimes, but no. It never takes 11 minutes just to download dependencies. There's the goat emoji. Each Gradle version is a breaking change. That's also not fun. Yeah, we got these simultaneous gesture. You wanted to give it to Donuts Ahoy, but couldn't find the button to give it to someone specifically, so it worked out. I mean, hey, what did I do? Whose channel did I do that on? Something else. I had to, yeah, no, I think it was on Nutter's stream or something that I accidentally gave a or maybe it was Compile Swift Stream, that I accidentally gave a, I gave a sub to somebody completely at random, and I didn't know who it was, and I was trying to give it to somebody in particular, but I screwed it up. But yeah, this looks like this is working, because now we're able to zoom and rotate at the same time. To the extent that these gestures are working, but... yeah, if you copy the fireworks icon in my description, that'll make that noise as well. Yeah, you've got the fireworks, you've got the dog to make the screen grayscale, you've got the Xcode on fire to crash Xcode, you've got the speaking head to do text-to-speech. Yep, there's the fireworks. Those are yeah, that's what it's there for, 404. Loud noises just to startle me. Alright, so yeah, we've got our drag, drop, location, all of that. That's all done. I honestly think that might be everything that we need for the stickers. Mono, can you think of anything that we need to add to the stickers? Drag, scale, rotate. Xcode fire emoji to crash Xcode, yeah. So yeah, people who are subs, they can crash Xcode whenever they want. And you know, everybody else gets it for free via the channel points. See, yeah. I think Eagle you said, or was it Eagle
Knot says, can you describe in detail how a computer works?
That's easy. They don't. Yeah, I if somebody was really constantly doing it, I would ask them to cut it out, and if they didn't cut it out, then that would probably be a problem, and I would have to deal with it. But thankfully, my community has so far been good enough that they are not like that, except for the day.
Inatsahoy says they're magic.
Yeah. The day that I request that people mess with me that much, which is April Fool's Day, which is also the stream anniversary, and I always set up a challenge where it's like, oh, I'm gonna try to do something, and chat's job is to stop me. And so yeah, that's a thing. You can try it, because like the emoji version only works for subs. Yeah, if you've got points to spend, yeah, go for it. I mean, everything's good. The intent is to just have it happen whenever. I kind of compulsively save, so. But yeah, somebody earlier was saying, oh yeah, you can do it every 5 minutes, and you can do it every 5 minutes to the channel points. Yep, there it goes. I think if you use the emoji instead of the channel points, there is no time limit on it. So you can just crash Xcode over and over and over again. Yeah, I don't think the hot sauce is going to be, well, I don't know.
Mono NZ says, don't you just hate it when your cat wakes you up like this? Meow, 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 meow.
Yeah, I do hate that, Mono. I hate that a lot. And yes, my cats do wake me, or the one who's in the photo here, the one who's been in the simulator, she wakes me up every morning like that. Every morning. It's like, Mocha, has there ever been a day where I have forgotten to feed you? You know the drill. I get up, I go put on my pants, I go to the bathroom, then I go put on my slippers, then I go down and feed you. You do not need to sit there and scream at me the entire time
to the tintinnabulation that so musically wells from the bells, 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 from the jingling and the tinkling of the bells.
This is true. You would like a flip animation of this story, please? Yeah, we could probably do that. I mean, not tonight, because I don't have multiple pages working yet. But yeah, no, we can do that. Let me go ahead and commit that. And yeah, why don't we make that what we work on next, is the ability to have multiple pages. Does Kineo work with pencil these days? Kineo has worked with pencil since the re-release in 2020. So yeah, Kineo works very well with pencil. Yeah, let's go ahead and submit or commit this. Add ability to move and rotate stickers. A man of discerning taste, Emacs, yes. Add text to speech to the animation. Yeah, I'm not adding any audio to the animation anytime soon. That's been something that I've considered for a while, but I mostly have just like deferred to like, if you're going to share these animations and you want to add audio to them, every other tool that you could possibly use is better at doing that. So you want to add like text to speech to your thing, you can probably do it with TikTok. You can probably do it with Apple's Clips. You can do it with, I don't know what Instagram's editing functionality is, but yeah, you've got other tools to do that. And so I don't feel the need to put it in Kineo right away. Sure, it'd be a feature that I'd love to add eventually, but it's not a top priority for me by any means. You switched to from Doom Emacs to NeoVim, but it's good too. Yeah. Most of my use of Emacs these days is for Magit, which is just a Git client. It's a very nice Git client. But then, yeah, I use it for, yeah, I mean, I was using it for editing the BD's website earlier. I showed off the redo of that I did. Like, this was all edited in Emacs because you got tag edit and you can do cool stuff with that. It does export well to TikTok. Yeah, that is like TikTok, Instagram, both feed and stories, and YouTube are like the three that I always check that it works well with. Because yeah, those are the ones that I think are the most important. Is yeah, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Those are the three that I want to make sure that you're able to share from Kineo. Sorry, I got distracted by something. Or I missed what I was saying. Talking about Emacs. Yeah, I use it for this. Oh, tag edit. You're working on a backend right now using NeoVim? Nice. Let's go find some HTML, because HTML is great. Sites, BDs, content, index HTML. Yeah, the ability to do this, where I was like, oh, you know, I've got these tags, and like, let me surround this first bit in a new tag. So, div, class, description. Sorry, I can't type description. And then I do this, and then I come back here and I go boop, boop, boop. I love it. And yeah, you can kind of pick that there. Also, yeah, let me, whoops. Did I move that back correctly? I did not. Oh God, what have I done? So if I do that, so like I can get rid of that. Also, you can just like delete the whole chunk at a time. But then, yeah, one of the things that I did here was like, oh, this was originally not something that I wanted to, I originally did not want these on separate lines. I just had this like all together like that. And I was like, I don't really feel like that was how I want that. I want that to kind of be separate. And so, that was not the right, button. What is it? Meta. Yeah, there, that one. Meta Shift S. It's like, oh, you just split up that tag. Boom, done. Curious, you're not the first person I know of who uses Emacs primarily because of Magit. What are your favorite features and aspects of Magit? Yeah, detached head state. Obviously a perfectly relevant username. yeah, let me kind of talk through it. I mean, part of what I like is it's all like these single character things. So there's so much of what I do that's just muscle memory at this point. And you know, apparently quitting it is part of that. Go back to that. So yeah, like if I go and pull stuff, it's just like FPA. Oops. And let me do that, and it's like, yeah, that's get, fetch, prune. Fetch, prune, all FPA. Able to just kind of like have muscle memory for some things that are very quick. And you know, because it's like there's a time in between them, you're able to kind of do that step by step and build up a pipeline of this kind of stuff. So it's not like, oh, I could just get alias FPA to get, fetch, pull, all. It is kind of more interactive than that. So that's a really nice one that I like. I need to go make a bunch of changes. Let's comment this out, and then, I need a bigger file than this. Let's comment this out, and then let's like add a line here, and then let's go down and totally does implement init with coder. And then if I go into here, what I can actually do is I can stage or unstage all of these independently. Xcode finally now also does this. I can go in here and this is as of Xcode 15, I can stage just this line, for example. But Magit has had that forever. So it's like, oh, you know, it turns out I actually just want to commit this print statement. Yeah, there we go. It's like it didn't go at first. I can just hit S, and now just this bit of that file is staged, and the other two things will not be staged. They won't be committed. That's another one of the things that I really like about it. What else? I've used solely Magit for so long that I don't remember what all of this is like. Parts that I like that about Magit versus parts that are actually in Git, and I don't remember that this was specific to Magit. You know, just this kind of view, being able to see everything and actually navigate through it. You're not doing just like a git branch all and show me the list of everything. You know, it's actually interactive. I can come through and I can see like what are the most recent commits on everything. Oops, I got to do that over here. What are the commits? Why can't I find anything? There we go. Okay, so yeah, they have to be not up to date. What are the commits that are only on this branch, I guess is what this is showing. So these are the commits that are only on here that have not been pushed up. It makes it really easy to see like when these things are in sync and out of sync. And it's good about like, oh, if they are out of sync, then it won't let me delete that branch. I'm not going to do that with this one just in case. But like deleting some of these other branches, it'll allow me to do it. Whereas if I've got something that's not out of sync, let me like duplicate this branch. New branch from feature vision feature delete me. And then, yeah, let me push this up to my origin is feature vision. So yeah, because this is now out of sync, I actually have to go to a different branch because you can't delete the branch that you're on. If I say delete me, this will actually like say, are you sure you want to delete this branch? You actually can't see that because it's behind me. It'll catch you for that. But something that is released, like this compact gallery mode one, that's up to date. If I do that and I just hit enter, it's good. And so you can just kind of get through here. You just hit K, enter, K, enter, K, enter, and clean stuff up all real quick. But then if you try to do that, it's like, oh, it catches you. And you're like, oh, no. I don't need to delete that one. So it makes it a lot easier to keep things clean because it's just smart about, knowing what is and isn't merged. And yeah, a lot of that is, those two key shortcuts, just like K, enter, K, enter, K, enter. That's deleting all of the branches that I don't want anymore. And then if I have to type Y or N, then I know that I probably shouldn't delete that without paying attention to what I'm doing. But yeah, those are some of the things that I like about it. All right, yeah, let's go do the multiple pages. I think we're going to start with... Hey, thanks for the follow, Detached Head State. I think we're going to start with just doing the drawing for now. We're not going to do the stickers quite yet, because that requires us building in sticker support to our editing state, which we don't currently have. Whereas drawing, we definitely totally do have. So let's go... Oh yeah, we have this temporary persistence here. Yeah, we've got editing state somewhere. Yeah, I need to rearrange these files so I can actually find stuff, but that's a problem for future me. Let's also make this not have our data in here anymore. All right, so we're getting our editing state here. It's creating an initial value. And then I guess what I want is to... Someone's not using Toast. Yeah, I am. This is using Toast. I need to put them in folders in order for them to... In order for Toast to pick up that they need to go in folders. But yeah, no, this is using Toast. I'll prove it to you. Ta-da! What do we got? We got our editing state. Yeah, so I think the first thing that we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to make the film strip actually work. It's nice that it's alphabetical, yeah. I mean, it's not currently because I haven't regenerated in a while, but like if I close this and I regenerate it, it will be alphabetical. So like you see photos and toolbar out of place and these aren't in there. But yeah, let me like quit this and then go rerun Toast. Which one of these is Kineo? Are any of them Kineo? No. This says Kineo, but it's lowercase, which means this is the website and not the... not the app. That's how I tell them apart in Terminal. It's the website if it's lowercase, it's the actual app if it's uppercase. But yeah, no, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say Toast generate. That'll generate that. And hey, now it's all in alphabetical order. And they put the folders at the top. Yeah, I mean, I liked app code, but I don't know. Like, it was always just enough behind Xcode that you kind of had to have both open anyway. And so it's just like... Especially in the Intel days when you couldn't really have an IntelliJ based thing and an Xcode based thing opened at the same time without setting your lap on fire. It always felt like I might as well just use Xcode because I really need Xcode for editing nibs or editing storyboards. I need Xcode for the view debugger. I need Xcode for the memory debugger. I need some of this kind of stuff. And it's like, it never was like quite up to, it didn't have enough of the things. I was going to say it wasn't quite up to Xcode's feature set, but obviously in other cases, it blew Xcode's feature set out of the water, like having working refactoring, that kind of stuff, you know, imagine that you can actually do a find and rename in your app and it works more than 40% of the time. That was always a neat feature of app code. But for some of the stuff that like, it still kind of felt like you really needed, they kind of dropped the ball. And it was, at the point it was like, well, I mean, Xcode, the things that app code did better than Xcode were not better enough to justify leaving Xcode. I guess is what I'm trying to say. No, they're killing the Swift plugin too. I'm sorry that you had to find out this way, Mono. I'm waiting for Jay to get back and because yeah, Jay was using Nova, Panic's app, and I mentioned on his stream the other day that they have this thing called Icarus, Nova Icarus, and that's supposed to be like a Swift function or Swift like system for Nova, and I'm very curious to see how well this works. I have also gotten well, I don't know which machine. This is the tricky bit, is that it works on some of my machines and it doesn't work on some of my machines. Gotten a pretty decent debugging Swift programming setup in Emacs. I don't know that it's this one. Let's find out. I mean, this is, I feel like this is clearly not it, because otherwise it would be, it would have yelled at me more. But like, if I do this, does that actually show me errors? No, it doesn't. So yeah, on one of my machines, and I think it's my MacBook Air, I actually have this working pretty well, where it'll do autocomplete. Like this one will do autocomplete, but it's very dumb, like text-based autocomplete. Xcode refactor pretty much always works as long as you do a build between uses. How are you doing, Adam? Welcome. I have not found that to be the case, unfortunately. It definitely does work better when you do a build between uses, but still, there have been plenty of times where I've done a build and then just I do a build to make sure that it's going to work, and then I still do it, and it'll give me that like refactor ranges did not match in blah 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 line, and it's just it's never been great. I don't know. Yeah, this will do. Oh, I guess it's not even going to do the dumb autocomplete. Okay, well. Yeah, because sometimes this will do. I mean, this does say Eagle-Eye Kineo too, so something should be working. I don't know. There's definitely a machine that I have this on that works a lot better, and I think it is my MacBook Air. But I'll have to do a stream on this at some point, doing Swift development in Emacs. Because it does work pretty well. I did try to get a Emacs plugin at one point. I did build an Emacs, I don't know if you call it a plugin or what, to change simulators. So it had a UI kind of like what I was showing with the branch switching in Magit, where it's just like this, and you like select your simulator, and that's the simulator that's going to build to. I had that working. And then I was trying to get one working where it would actually deploy to device as well, and I never got that working. But it works very well for anything that you're not doing iOS dev on. So if you're doing like Swift Server, or you're doing like scripting, Swift scripting type stuff, it works pretty well. But yeah, building an actual app is a little bit less exciting, a little bit less working as well. Now, I'll have to do a stream on that at one point. Swifting. I'll have to make sure it actually still works, for one thing. Yeah, so multiple pages. So I think, yeah, the first thing that I need to do is I need to get the actual film strip working. Because right now we have this, like, for each 0 through 30. We need this to have our actual editing state based on this. So let's go to content view. So we have our editing state here. This is state. We pass this state down to the canvas via a binding. I think what we actually need to do we need to do the same thing for the film strip. So here's our canvas. Where's our canvas sidebar? That's this ornament here. Yeah, canvas sidebar. Let's pass that in binding here. So we're gonna say at binding var editing state. Do I want editing state before or after height? I think I want it before. And I guess, yeah, I do want this to be down here with the private stuff as well. So there's our binding there. Let's get another similar one for film strip. Oh God, what have I done? Come on. Give me the, there we go. Yeah, let's get our binding. See, I've been very inconsistent on this new app as to where I put stuff. Private, internal only, like stuff that we don't care about. Well, binding we do care about, so that one's gonna go up top. At binding private var. Like in this case, this goes at the bottom because we're just passing it along. We're not using it. And so this one we are using, and so I actually do care about it. Okay, so there's our editing state. My guess is that we need an init. I don't like that they're not smart enough to realize that I want this as a binding. So that'll give us that. This is going to yell because we haven't passed in the editing state, but we can do that. Editing state. Perfect. We need to now go back up a level, so let's do that here. Editing state is $ editing state. All right, everything's working there. So now what we need here is this for each needs to be a for each of editing states, documents, pages. What all is in editing state? Yeah. Editing state document pages. So are pages identifiable? And if not, can we make them identifiable? Yes, we can. Identifiable. I guess, yeah, let's put it down here. Well, let's put it with the UUID. Here we go, yeah. Public var ID, UUID is just UUID. There, now they're identifiable. Look at that. That was easy. So now we're gonna go into here and we're gonna just do a for each of every editing state document pages. We now have our pages. Okay, so I think we go and build and run this, and now we should have only one square in that film strip. That's what we'll get out of this. Awesome. All right. So I think what we need to do next is we need to give ourselves a new button that actually goes and adds a new document to that editing state. So let's do a new page button. Yeah, let's start putting this into a group. So we're gonna call this film strip. Yep. And we're gonna give it a new page that is new page button. Let's drag this over here because we're gonna want that over there. I think this is also gonna need our binding. Import SwiftUI, struct, new page button, view. God, I love Xcode 15's new autocomplete stuff. It's just like, yeah, that is what I want out of a body. Look at this. It's like type new, and it's like, yeah, you want to name it the same thing as your file name? Yes, I do want that. And then you're like, okay, view, do you want a body in your view? Yeah, I really do want a body in my view. That's great. Let's do more of this. Okay. Sorry, I was too excited about all of that. I guess we'll take the frame and the clip shape in here. Yeah, let's do that there. So then this button just needs an action and a label. And here's our action. It has nothing. Oh my God, why can't I type? Label. Goes here. Too excited about Xcode. Okay, we can work with that. Also, my chat seems to have died. And not because it crashed, just because it dies in general after a while. Okay, so yeah, we gotta rename. We have to name a variable too excited about Xcode. We will find a place to do that. Label. Where's our gallery button? We're gonna kind of copy that. I don't think we want to give this a glass background effect. We'll see, but I don't think we do. So we can kind of just go with that. Image. I guess we do need this to be nice. I don't know. Yeah. Do we need the container relative shape here? I think we might because it's a label. So clip shape, container relative shape. I think we might actually need that. So that should give us everything that we need here. And then I'm going to make this a plus. And then, yeah, we'll give it a print new page. Go back over here to our film strip, and we will, after all of our for each's, just say new page button. See if that gives us what we want. I feel like I am going to have to go. I'm going to have to extract where that other button size thing lives. Yeah, because look at that. That looks kind of gross. Let's figure out how we're going to do that. Yeah, I guess what we really want is like a film strip button view modifier. Flip strip, film strip button view modifier. Yeah, and it'll give us some of this kind of stuff. Yeah, basically all of this kind of stuff. where else is this used? This is frame width, so we'll still need that, I think. But then everything else, I think, should come over into our view modifier. Struct, film strip button view modifier, view modifier. It's not smart enough to do body for view modifier yet, unfortunately. Container. These things. What's a button width? Outer radius. So yeah, let's grab this. Inset is whatever that is. Content margins, that's frame width minus button width. So yeah, let's make this a internal static let, so then we can do this. Yeah, so far so good. Okay, so then this is going to be extension view func film strip button. Returns modified content self film strip button view modifier. And that's just going to be self dot modifier film strip button view modifier. And what this allows us to do is that we can just go in here and we can say color dot white. Nope, that's now dot film strip button. I forgot what I named it already. And then we can go in here and we've got our, hey, thank you for the follow, Scalar42. We can go there and we can do the same thing on film strip button. Look at that. Isn't that easy? Let's see what that looks like. Basically exactly the same, but that's okay because that's what we wanted. So now what I need to do is I need to figure out how to make that, I need to change that background. I know this is something that Nutter's been trying to figure out too, and so hopefully I can figure it out and then drop into his chat and help him. But yeah, we need to figure out how to change the background effect of the button. So is this that like hover effect? So we have hover effect. We don't have the ability to put like a shape. I would have figured that this clip shape would have been part of it. What happens if I make the clip shape a rectangle, for example? Does that affect that at all? No. No, it does not. What would affect that? Ooh, button style. Button border shape. Ooh, button border shape. This is sounding accurate. Button border shape. Button border shape. Hey, there we go. Rounded rectangle. Can I do anything else with that? Rounded rectangle with a given radius. Let's just start with rounded rectangle and see if that does anything. It does not. Let's try it with the radius, but it doesn't seem to have done anything. 2. No. Okay. My guess is that this doesn't go on the image, but maybe on the button itself. Hey, there we go. Okay. What is our button corner radius? Inner radius. Inner radius is... Do we use inner radius? We don't. Okay. Okay, so the problem is that we we're using this container relative shape, and I actually want my button border to shape to also be container relative, but it doesn't look like that's an option. So I'm going to need to do this calculation anyway. That's a bummer. Can I do like a container relative shape? Can I ask the container relative shape what its radius is? Doesn't look like that's the case. So yeah, what I need is I think I do need that calculation. Outer radius minus inset. So our frame width, hold on. So where are we using this inset? We're using the inset at the very top. Is that working correctly right now? I feel like it's not. I think what we need to do is frame width minus button width divided by 2. I think this is why this was never working before. That's what that should be. And then this is now inset, outer radius minus inset. So let's make that a static var. And then inner radius, let's go grab this over here. Well, actually this has both of them, so let's actually button radius. Make this a static var. Leave this alone. And then this will be film strip.button radius. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, I'm happy with that. Yeah, and then we've got our little hover effect. And I just clicked it, so we should now have it say new page. New page. There we go. All right. I'm happy with that. We can get rid of our clip shape. We don't care about that. Good morning. Just seeing who's awake. We all are now. See, now I was prepared for that one. I wasn't prepared for the firework. You're already amped up from the firework. There's a goat scream. It's like, okay, it's just another loud noise. It's fine. Mono NZ is awake? Yeah. Okay, so now that we've got our new page button, Goat was just waking up again. Now that we've got our new page button, yeah, I think what we need is to take in the editing state here as well. We have our editing state. And then, oh yeah, we need this too. Zip. So we have the editing state. We need to add the new page to the editing state. Is that something that I have on here? No. How do I do this in the UIKit app? Where would that even live? Does grayscale affect only the streamer? Do you see that too? I see it too. It is grayscale to me as well. I don't know how to prove that out, but it is grayscale to me as well. Where would I have put this? Oh, it would be in editing. There was like an editing thing. Should be great to this effect when he's looking for his colors. Yeah. I thought I had like a... Yeah, because clip, is it just in shared? Is it literally called shared? Nope. Core? Oh, it would be in core. That's where it is. Okay, yeah. No, I know where I am now. Editing view. Film strip. Look at how much more code I need for UI kit. New page cell. What does new page cell do? Surely something. You can also wait until he's deep in the middle of something and drop an Xcode crash. Yeah. That happened the other day where I was just like, oh man, that was perfect timing. Where's my film strip, like, collection view delegate? Hey, I got colors again. Collection view delegate. I guess it's just film strip view. Okay. You need to work on your bot to redeem the crash every time it's available. You can do it. Again, Mono, remember, you are a sub now, and therefore the crash is always available to you. Yeah. Where's the did select? Yeah, did select item at. Not gonna lie, I'm starting to drag, but I really want to get I really want to get multiple pages working. Did select, is that on your home screen? I get what you're saying. Sorry. It took me a second. State.adding new page. I thought I looked to see if there was a thing called adding new page. Yeah.
Mono NZ says my sprinkler goes like THISSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTSTST S T S T S T S T S T
Yeah,
S
I'm sorry, Mono, I'm killing this one.
T S T.
Nope. Sorry, I'm forced killing that one. That was pretty bad. So yeah, editing state needs to adding new page. Editing state equals editing state adding new page. Yeah, why did that work? If you want to check what it's going to say before trying it on mine, you can use the say command in terminal. And let's go here and just say, what was it? T S T S T S T S T S T S.
T S T S T S T S T S T S.
Yeah. So you can do that. Let's see if that works.
Tis 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 tis.
Yeah, you could do something like that. Actually, I wonder if that even would work all together.
Tis 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 tis.
There you go. I am actively teaching you how to make annoying noises at me. You need to get the experts on onomatopoeia here. Now type in meow times 100. It used to be that you could do... Can you do pipe yes to say? Hang on. What's the thing? Man, yes. Yes, expletive. Be repeatedly affirmative. So, meow, or yes, meow. Pipe that to say. That doesn't work. Say. Man, say. Is it maybe... No. Pipe yes to say macOS. I felt like there was a way to do this and just have it like infinitely make noises. Oh well. I don't remember what it was. But I remember it used to be a fun prank that you could do. Just like pipe that to something, like get SSH to somebody, then pipe yes to say, and it would just sit there and yes, 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 yes. Man. Literally just type in the word prank in that. Good thing the stream doesn't get derailed easily. Yeah, exactly.
The Nuts Ahoy says, have you asked ChatGPT?
Yeah. I have not. Where was there was a while? Yeah. While 1 equals 1.
EagleNut says ChatGPT.
Say meow. Done. Yes, meow, head and 1000 say. Yeah, that would do it. Yes. Because that will just do meow 100 times or 1000 times. Pipe. Head. And I'm going to just do 100 instead of 1000. Does it take this long to output 100 meows? I'm not hearing anything. Let's do 5. And I think I also want to put like a space.
EagleNut says, everyone remember to save some of your ideas to keep him from accomplishing anything for next stream. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yep. Hey, GRC. GRC. I still haven't figured out whether it's 3 bad man or ill bad man. Donuts, I think you, well, maybe you saw this earlier, but EagleNot did that. This was a thing from the stream where he and I first met each other, where it was doing that not with Shakespeare's plays, but rather Poe's stories. And so, yeah, he was posting one about bells earlier. All right, we're going to give up on this.
Donuts Ahoy says GRZLLL Badman.
GRZLLL? Okay, so we're going to put the editing strip in there. That's how you say it? I'm sure that you, Donuts Ahoy, definitely are deferring to how text-to-speech pronounces things. All right, so yeah, let's see if that works.
Mono NZ says Donuts Ahoy or Donuts Ahoy.
Hey, look at that. That just added a new button. Boom, boom, boom. There's our editing state. Perfect. That should have also persisted. So if we relaunch this, we should have 4 pages. Look at that. Perfect. Yeah, here, let's... With more...
Donuts Ahoy says I could change to D's Nuts Ahoy.
I mean, we'll fix it. We can do that.
Oh, wonder. How many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is. O brave new world, that has such people in't.
Unfortunately, I gotta quit Xcode and restart it to do that. Because I need to do this in Xcode 14.3.
Eagle Knot says our revels now are ended. These are actors, as I foretold you. We're all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air, and, like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, all which it inherit. Danutsahoy says once more onto the breach. Okay, well, dear friends, once more.
Apparently you can interrupt each other with that. Hey, Nutter, how you doing? I figured out your buttons thing. So you remember how you were having trouble with the buttons, and like the buttons on your game UI project, how they were having the like ovals, the capsules behind them. Did you figure out how to fix that? Because I did, and I will show you. It is button border shape. And then it gives you several different shapes here. So there's rounded rectangle. You've got, I think just, yeah, capsule, circle, and rounded rectangle. And then obviously you can set a rounded rectangle radius. So I think that would also count as like an actual rectangle. So I've got a rounded rectangle radius here with this. But if I do a radius to 0, that will be just a rectangle. But that's how you do it. What I was really bummed out by was I was not able to do button border shape with container relative shape. I think that would have been the best way. Oh, weird. Oh, do I have a clip shape on this? I might have a clip shape on. Well, I mean, that's one way of solving that too. I just put a clip shape on it and then it needs a dot squircle. I mean, I think that the rounded rectangle is technically a squircle because it's it uses the continuous rounding rather than the, what were the two options? Continuous and circular. Yeah. Where is my view modifier that I did? Film strip button. Yeah, this has a clip shape on it. So I think if I get rid of that clip shape, then this will be, yeah, square rectangle. Honestly, maybe I should just leave it that way and then I use the container relative clip shape and then I don't have to worry about doing all that calculation. That's honestly a much better idea. Let's just do that. So yeah, there's that button border shape. All right, so now we have that. Why don't you have the Nutter Scream? Why don't you have the Nutter Scream? Shape is hidden in the documentation under controls and indicators. But I don't think button border shape is a shape, is it? Oh, it is a shape. So that makes even less sense. Why can't I just pass in whatever shape that I want then? Because yeah, I have to pass in this button border shape and then it has to be a button border shape. And button border shape conforms to shape. Thanks, now I need to add, yeah, sorry. Sorry that I've added more buttons. More shapes to the world. Yeah, why can't I just do container relative shape here? Why can't I just pass in any arbitrary shape to the button border shape? That makes me sad. Oh well.
Danutsahoy says Twitch won't let me put a space in my username. Hello darkness, my old friend.
I thought I fixed that here. Why didn't that work? We're gonna quit this again and we're gonna go back to Xcode 14.3. You know a shapes guy if you have shape questions. Did I? Oh, I didn't capitalize it. Sorry. Here we go. Try speaking something again now. Donuts ahoy.
D's nuts ahoy says ha ha ha.
There you go. Yeah, I went through links earlier, but now that Nutter's here, let's give him an official shout out. Yeah, if you want all of your shapes information, go say hi to Nutterfy. Follow him as well. All right. So yeah, we've got our multiple pages now. I think what we need next is the ability to switch between the pages. Because right now what we show is always the first page of this, and yeah, what we need is the ability to switch between pages. So where is our canvas, our content view? Because this says editing state, canvas editing state. Canvas drawing equals editing state current page drawing. So I think all we really need to do is we need to make the, yeah, I guess we need a like existing page button. What did we call the other one? We had like new page cell, film strip, new page cell. What was the other one? Film strip, existing page cell. Well, that'd be a relevant name for that. Existing page button. Import SwiftUI, struct, existing page button, view. I have neglected to give KNH his name. Let's do that right now. I'll give it to the editing state on this page. So, what was it exactly? It's like, yeah, too excited about Xcode. So, at finding var, private var, too excited about Xcode. Wouldn't it be cool to see a mono NZ stream? That would be neat. We could talk about Material 3 on the mono NZ stream. That's what I get for ribbing mono NZ. Oh, that's what I get. I deserve that one. Would it be cool if Xcode did not? Yes, fair. Oh, see what you've done now, though? You deleted KNH's contribution. Don't you feel awful now? Okay, I've saved it so that it will survive any new crashes. Okay, there's our editing state, and yeah, where's new page button? Bring that up over here. Let's just grab all of this. And then
Eagle Not says Mono NZ is the official villain of the stream for shame.
Exactly. Our shape is just button dot. No, sorry, color dot white. That's what we're doing right now. Editing state is editing state dot setting page to something. No, sorry.
Mono NZ says shame. Dink shame. Dink shame. Dink shame. Dink.
What's the difference between the crash and burn emojis? In terms of effect, nothing. In terms of what they look like on screen, one of them is animated. That's the only difference. Too excited about Xcode equals too excited about Xcode dot navigating. I guess it is navigating. Instead of a get reset, could do a get stash. I don't know what that's in relation to. What was I saying? Yeah, we need to go back to film strip view. Well, we need to not hit the wrong buttons and accidentally kickstart. Instruments, which is what I just did. Film strip view. Adam wanted another redeem for doing a reset hard on your current project. No, that's okay. Where I completely missed the first part of that. Oh yeah, in addition to Xcode crash, need to get reset dash dash hard. I totally missed that one earlier. For a points reward, yeah. No, I don't think that I would allow that one. Just completely wiping out my current code. Killing what I haven't saved. That's one thing. Killing everything that I haven't committed. That one's a little bit more fun. Stash would be fun though. You wouldn't really lose anything. I'm trying to think of something that would be disruptive, but not too disruptive. No, you cannot suggest the light mode redeem. That one's banned. 5,000 point reward that just wipes every device you own. It would definitely have to be more than 5,000. There was one. There's one during the. No, actually, I think I had to stop it this year because they actually locked it down enough that I couldn't do it. There used to be one that would invert the colors of the screen, where it was effectively turning it into light mode because it was actually just inverting all of the colors. I think that one is no longer. That one doesn't work anymore. Because they locked down what things you could set. Where is the Twitch alerts? Because I can see what effects that I have. Some of them, yeah, chat. That was like chat redemption effect. Chat effect. Oh, I do still have an invert effect. Oh, it's triggered by compile Swift's WTF mode. So if anybody has compile Swift emotes as well, you might be able to do that just by, just post that emote. There you go. Yeah, see? You need to redeem turn entire stream upside down so I don't need to flip my laptop watching. That was also one that I used to have. I think that might be the one that didn't work. Undo.
D's nuts ahoy says ow 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 my eyes. It burns.
There you go. Navigating. What's always fun is that streams where somebody has changed that and either that or the grayscale one and after the stream, before I shut down the chat, I actually have to like go back and post that same emote myself to trigger it, to like get myself back to normal. Where is the, where's the did select in here? Yeah, did select item at. If it's a new page, add new page. Otherwise, navigate to page. For page event, page navigation event, blah, blah, blah. So editing draw view controller does this. Who needs a key light when you have light mode? Yeah, exactly. I don't know what's going on anymore. Oh, are you trying to trigger both of them at the same time? I don't think that'll work, because I think those are considered completely separate color filters. Yeah. Here, let's go look at the code for that, because that is invoker toggle invert. Yeah, we have a toggle grayscale and we have a toggle invert. I was gonna say, is there a way that I can toggle both? But it doesn't look like that's the case. Grayscale needs to be applied directly to Cocoa Head. Yeah, no. I'm the one thing that will always remain in color. State equals state dot navigating sender event. I think I need to make that not how this is. 100 points to make you stream from the spooky mountain road. I could do like a, no, actually I couldn't do that. I was gonna say I could do like a, change like the background for me, but I can't do that because it's on a completely different computer. And I would have to do like networking, and that would be terrible, and I don't want to do that. I do need to also figure out, state.navigating sender. I'm not going to Texas. That's not happening. State.navigating sender event. How does this work? It might come back with spurs, yeah. Nobody wants that. I can't see the chat in order to get back. There we go. Okay. It's an obligatory cowboy hat. Navigate to page equals state.navigating. So where is navigating? It's right here. Editing page navigation. Okay. I need a navigation. Oh God. Okay. What's going on here? If let key command new index equals bounded index for current page -1. Else let event index int switch event style so yeah, I almost need another func that's like navigating to page index. And that'll return an editing state. And then what? This is event index equals page index. New index equals bounded index for event index. So guard, yeah, so this would be new index. Guard new index is not equal to current page. What the heck happened there? New index is not equal to current page index. Else return editing state lenses current page index set new index self. Return self, not return in general. Okay, so now we have a navigating to page at index. I think that's a better idea. Navigating to page at index. Index. So we're going to need to create some kind of like page index on here. Not a problem. Let's go back to where we actually create all these. Yeah, so we need for each editing state.document.pages. But the problem is I need actually I almost need this to a navigating to page. I don't know what happened to my music. My music is just dead. It's very quiet. Nobody knows what's going on. I'm going to quit and restart Pretzel because it seems like it's struggling. Serious question, kind of app databases. I need to do the same thing on iOS and Android. Should I consider something like Couchbase or SQLite for SQLite for SQLite, or throw all of my money at Google for a Firestore syncing database? Do you need to actually sync between them? I guess that would be the first question. Like, do you actually need to sync between them? It seems like Pretzel might just be down. So this is fun. I guess I'm going to just start singing campfire songs. Where's Nutter? What's the name of that YouTube channel that you like that has all this stuff? It's like we're gonna find some music. Hold on. Because I'm not going to sit here in the silence. That's just a bad plan.
D's Nuts Ahoy says there's a long, long trail a winding into the land of my dreams, where the nightingales are singing and a white moon beams.
I don't know if that's actually royalty free yet, so we're gonna stop for a second. We're gonna get that 1/2 a second of sound. I don't think this is actually royalty free. Okay, we're just gonna try this one. Sorry, this I have had to undo the stream changes or the redeem music. I think it worked out for several hours. I have completely lost the entire track of what was going on in chat. Generally use Postgres for ServerDB. For the next project, I'm thinking of doing AppSync. Yeah, so if you're doing AppSync, then I would probably avoid something like SQLite. I don't really know what works great between like what works for actual like syncing type stuff. I don't know. I don't know what is a good cross-platform syncing library. All right, what were we doing? Navigating to page. We need a page. So page is going to be page, which comes from data or data vision. There we go. So now we need our navigating film strip. Our navigation, this one. Navigating to page. Auto merge for exciting local first sync. Yeah. Auto merging is super fun. What is Supabase? I'm not gonna look it up. I'm gonna actually finish this part. Current page index set new index. So we need to say guard page is not equal to current page. And then we need let page index equals pages. No, document.pages. It's a Firebase clone, but Postgres and open source. Nice. And serverless. Slightly less understand what that means, but okay. Yeah. I mean, like, I know what serverless is, but like, is it just constantly persisting to a file, and then when you hit, like, you know, your Lambda endpoint or whatever, it just loads up that file and sends you whatever the changes are? Because when I think of like databases and stuff, you have like a database constantly running. So I'm struggling slightly to understand how that works with yeah, with like a serverless edge function type thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really super into that world, so I'm sure there's probably a way like, oh yeah, you just do this and it's got the thing. Adam Wolf, 10,000 points for Comic Sans' Xcode font. That was actually the very first original like idea for what an automated thing would be. Like back when I was doing the first April Fool's Day one, and it actually wasn't Comic Sans. It was even worse. It was not Papyrus. Zepfino, which was just huge. But Xcode surprisingly has like no automation to it at all. You cannot hit this with AppleScript. There's no automator. There's nothing like that. Cause yeah, that was what I originally was trying to do. It was like, oh, I want the ability for somebody to trigger points and everything just goes to Zepfino and it looks terrible. And it's incredibly hard to read. Yeah, that was this. Because the thing that I don't want to have to do is like, I don't want to have to, anytime somebody does something, go and do it manually. Because I mean, you saw what happened with K&H's redemption earlier. It's like I forgot about it for an hour. And so yeah, I don't want to have to be like watching for when somebody redeems something and then go click a button to change it. I feel like doing that has permanently messed up the spacing on my thing. No, I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things now. I don't know. Forgotten redemption. I have to not actually forget it. Page index, I think is what we want. Yeah, so now we have a navigating to page. Swap the template file that Xcode uses and crash Xcode so that it relaunches with the updated template file. Yeah. You could, yeah, you could. I wonder if there's anything that's just like a defaults write command that I could do. I feel like something would have to do that. Yeah. All right, this should now navigate to the page. Unfortunately, this thing probably has no idea what a page is. Actually, how is this building at all? What sets page? Good night, donuts. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, this shouldn't build, because nothing here sets page. This is just a private let here. I am so confused. I'm gonna clean and rebuild because that should not build. Yeah, no, it's only the very first emoji. It is, what emoji does it start with? Oh, you know what the problem probably is? I'm not actually using existing page button anywhere, so it has no init that is having a problem. That's why that's happening. Hey, look at this. Coco's chat client always needs work. No, it doesn't. It's fine. Shut up. Should I propagate this, too excited about Xcode here? Should I make it editing state to the public and not too excited about Xcode? I'll leave it as too excited about Xcode. So then this is editing state. It does still work, yes. And then this would be page in. I think I want page to be the first one. I know this is being pedantic, but hey, that's what we do here. But also this needs to be a binding to editing state. And then we do that. There we go. All right. I guess this page here, this could be the Forgotten Redemption. That is technically a variable. I almost always make it properties, but that is technically a variable. There, now it is remembered redemption. 10K to switch to Dvorak. I'm at enough of a handicap with the keyboard that I use. So I use one, oh God. 10,000 points to hit yourself in the face with the keyboard. I use one of these split keyboards. I'm pretty much used to it now. And I can type on it as fast as I can type on any regular keyboard. I was definitely slowed down by it for a while. But, I don't remember what I was going to say there. Oh, yeah, switching to Dvorak would definitely be a nightmare. 10,000 use Mono's keyboard. Ooh. See, I wonder, I think that I can switch the firmware for this, so I could make it so that the left-hand side of my keyboard just doesn't work. And I have to, like, do everything on the right-hand side of the keyboard with like, you know, the different layers. That would drive me nuts. Okay, what is going on? Oh, hey, I know what's going on here. We've got this problem. Operation Southpaw. So we've got an existing page button. The existing page button's label is color.white. And now we've applied the film strip button to it. Okay, that doesn't look right at all. Why is color.white got that weird? What if I get rid of this button border shape? And honestly, what if I get rid of this as well? Well, that is way worse. So hang on, let's go look at film strip button. Width and height is set. So yeah, let's leave that one. Let's only have deleted the button border shape. Yeah, why is this not the right size? I guess maybe I need the frame. Ooh, maybe I need this. Hold on. Maybe I need this to go in the label. And then, yeah, the same deal here, which I don't think that's really going to make as much of a difference, but... especially considering it already looked fine. See, now that one looks worse. No, I think what I need to do... yeah, I do need to bring those film strip buttons back. Need to get rid of this one. I almost need like 2 different film strip buttons. One that clips the whole thing. Oh wait, hang on, no. Yeah, why didn't that work? Because the button border shape applies to the whole thing. Okay, yeah, no, that's why. So I think we need this frame here. I may need to rethink this film strip button thing, but that's fine. New page button. Let's get rid of this one. Because, yeah, this is what's doing that actual frame here on new page button. Okay, I think this is looking better. So yeah, now we need to see if it actually changes pages. So page 1 looks great. Page 2 didn't do anything. Page 3, page 4. Okay. So none of this is doing anything. Let's go look at our content view. Editing state is editing state. Yeah, we've already got that. So are we actually updating our editing state? No. Yes. Maybe. I don't know. Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Can you repeat the question? Button border shape was introduced in iOS 15 but didn't conform to shape until iOS 17. Oh. That's certainly interesting. Okay, here, let's try this. So, if we click this button, too excited about Xcode equals too excited about Xcode dot navigating to page. Guard page is not the current page, which it should not be. And then guard that the page index equals document dot pages dot first index of page. So, what is page? Page is this. What is current page? That's that. Those are different pages. Those are very clearly different pages. What is document dot pages dot first index of page 1, which is correct, and of current page should be 0. Correct. Okay. So this should all still pass, and we just get down to here. Does that. Okay. I think I want to look at canvas. So I think I want to come down to, oh, this is in make UI view, and what we need is we need to update this in update UI view. Yeah, that needs to change here, because yeah, editing state is going to change. We're going to need to change that down here. Yeah, that's what's happening. So we need to say canvas view dot drawing. Let's rename this to canvas view here. And then yeah, canvas view dot drawing equals editing state dot current page dot drawing. That's what we need to do there. Okay, that should fix it. I really wanted to get this to the point where I was going to be able to actually play the animation, but I don't think we're going to get there tonight. Hey, look at that. We are actually able to switch pages though. I did not mean to kill Xcode or kill the simulator there. But yeah, we can actually switch pages now. Boop, 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 boop. All right, so should I try to, okay, first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit all of this. Add switching pages via film strip. Okay. Oops, sorry, did not mean to punch the microphone and give you all another loud noise. I know I did this part. How hard is doing the play button? How much work is the play button? Because what we need, yeah, where is, yeah, first of all, what controls the play button? Is it the canvas itself? Probably not. Oh, something didn't like that. Modifying state during view update. This will cause undefined behavior. That's not ideal. I mean, it seems to be working, but still not ideal. Canvas update UI view, canvas drawing equals that, which sets drawing did change. Okay, so yeah, I believe I had something on the old way, which is like, if I am manually setting this drawing, then don't call the canvas drawing, you know, don't call the drawing did change. So we're gonna need to re-implement that. I'm not gonna bother with that tonight. So where is my playing state? We have a play button. That play button calls play multiple. Oh yeah, play. State equals state.playing. Okay, but what controls that? Or sorry, what responds to that? Drawing view. Should hide skins image. Okay, so we will need to deal with that. That's not a thing that we need right now. Playback view is the thing that exists, which we don't currently have in SwiftUI. I think that's something that we would need to port in order to do this. Playback view, we call basically start animating. It uses display link. Blah, blah. For your production apps, what do you consider the minimum iOS version that you should support down to? 14? For a brand new app, whatever the latest is, honest to God, don't. Oh, okay. No, I would even say that that's probably the case even for like a big corporate app. For an indie app, definitely 100% just latest. Don't worry about doing anything else. It's the amount of extra customers you're going to get from it is not worth the amount of work that you have to do with it. For a bigger company, it might be a little bit worth it, especially if you're like planning on, you know, doing if it's like a mass market app, then yeah, I wouldn't go all the way to 14. I would even then say like current -2. So 16 and 15. Like, I think that's probably fine. For a existing app, I think, you know, be a little bit more stringent. So yeah, 14 is, I think, what would make sense. That's what we do at my job as well. 14 is fine. And so, yeah, if you've got customers that are going to be on that already, then I think it makes sense to slow down a little bit. So yeah, I would do, yeah, current stable -2 for anything that has existing customers, basically. For something brand new, I would say current -1 for a big team, current only for like an indie app. So the new app that I'm been talking about, the diabetes app, that one is going to be 17 and up, I think. I've currently have it working on 16, but I'm not going to continue to keep it working on 16. I have it working on 16 solely because I need more test devices, and 17 is not working. I guess 17 is I don't have enough 17 devices to test it on. Yeah, this is just gonna be that. Kineo, I think, supports all the way back to 14. Let's see what that supports back to. Yeah, Kineo supports back to 14. I probably could drop it, but like I haven't felt, there hasn't been anything where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm being held back by 14 support. So that hasn't bumped to 15 or even 16 just because of laziness. Highlighter, I think, only supports back to 15. Where is Highlighter? And Highlighter probably will get bumped before Kineo does. Because I can... there's a lot of things that I can do with Highlighter with some of the new path stuff that I think only exists in 16. So I think Highlighter is going to get bumped before anything else. But like Kineo, I have no real immediate need to do that. Oh, Highlighter also supports back to 14. Okay. Yeah, I think when we included a new library that was minimum 14 support, was a great time to say, oh no, we have to stop supporting 12 and 13. Bummer. 13 is not the worst one to support. Yeah, anything older than 13, you can't use async await. Like, no, just drop that. It's gone. Get rid of it. Yeah, where was all that new CG path stuff? Was that 16 or 15? No, it wouldn't be 15. Yeah, 16. So yeah, Highlighter will likely get it bumped before Kineo does, solely because I want this. And that is 16 only. Mono, I think you were talking earlier about the, no, was it? It might have been Donuts who was saying like, oh, you know, like being an app dev is so much harder because of all the legal stuff. This is the other reason why being an app dev is so much harder these days. Look at this. Look at how many lines are underneath this. iOS, Mac Catalyst, Mac OS, tvOS, visionOS, watchOS. There's so many platforms to support. Still a bit shook with that SwiftUI and table view thing you showed me. I showed you a SwiftUI. I didn't show you anything. I just told you not to do it, right? Oh, UI hosting config. Yeah, no, that's true. UI hosting config. Yeah, no, don't do anything unless you have this. Don't put SwiftUI in a tab. What's the current list of Android flavors? See, Android's a little bit easier. I will give Android the point here. With they moved so much stuff into like Google Play services that it updates separate from the OS, and so you can get a lot of the stuff in a easy to support method without having to have that. I think Apple is moving in that direction, but incredibly slowly. You know, you start seeing them move more stuff out into individual Swift libraries. So I think they're doing that with Foundation, but also you've seen it with like the async algorithms and the algorithms in general. You know, some of the other like Swift libraries. Apple is very slowly starting to try to disconnect this from the OS, and I think it'll be nice that they do that. Yeah, getting away from the Objective-C underpinnings. I think that's probably also a large part of it, is that Objective-C makes them want to shift stuff with the app a lot more often. Or sorry, with the system a lot more often. So as they can do that, maybe that'll help split stuff up. But yeah, no, it's complicated. But yeah, I do think that Android shipping a lot of that stuff in Google Play services is nice, because you don't have to worry so much about the specific OS version. SwiftUI, I kind of get why it's not a library because of the backwards dependency on UIKit for a lot of it. SwiftUI, I mean, it would be nice if it were a library. Yeah, absolutely. But I that one's understandable. The one that I don't get, why is Combine not a separate library? Combine should 100% be a separate library. That one doesn't have the same dependencies that SwiftUI does. That was baffling to me from the very start. And, you know, then it was like, until async await came out, and you had that, it was like, man, we got this really nice, like, async system, this, like, reactive programming system, that would be incredibly useful to use for a server-side Swift thing. Like, this Combine and server-side Swift would have been amazing together. It would have been just incredible. And we had to wait 2 years for async await to come out instead. And then you finally had it. But yeah, why? I don't understand why Combine wasn't an open source library. That one seems way more like a, you know, shooting yourself in the foot. That one seemed way more limited. SwiftUI, yeah, I agree. It would be nice, but I understand how that one would be hard to decouple from UIKit. You can write whole apps in SwiftUI in iOS 13, but if you want to slowly migrate your stuff, you got to wait until 16. I mean, it depends. I also think that table view that you had was kind of just scary in general, and I can understand Apple not optimizing for that. But yeah, no, that is kind of a major missing feature until iOS 16 is, oh yeah, you know, you want to put SwiftUI stuff in a table view or a collection view. Too bad. The one that I think is kind of a, you know, bummer that's missing is, like, in AppKit you have the NS hosting view in addition to NS hosting view controller, and in UIKit you don't have that. And it'd be nice to be able to inject stuff more like that, because then what you could do is you could just replace that table view with list and have that as part of the rest of your... You actually might be able to... I don't obviously know anything about your architecture. No, I don't think SwiftUI is all or nothing. I definitely don't... Like, UI hosting X UI hosting view controller specifically, and UI view and view controller representable. I think make it so that you can more easily migrate to that. I just think that table view cells was a major missing, like it was just an oversight primarily. But yeah, I think what you could do actually, not knowing anything about the architecture of your app and whether or not it would make it possible, use a UI hosting view controller and just swap out that entire table view with a list and then have the rest of the view built around that. That could all still be UIKit. Or no, because what you said, but you're effectively swapping out a data source every time. Yeah, that might not actually work. Sorry, I had an idea, but I don't think that'll actually help you. Yeah, no, I think that's the thing. Yeah, tabs should not, and this was why I was so baffled by like, how are you even doing this? Like, you shouldn't be changing your UI by just like changing out the data that's inside a table view, especially with like going to, yeah, like a tab, like tabs in UIKit, in both UIKit and SwiftUI, they very much like swap out the entire view controller here. They don't just like, oh, this tab is a button that then like changes some data. So yeah, I don't think that the fact that your view is hard to migrate to SwiftUI is entirely SwiftUI's fault. Would it be nice if you could do it? Would it be nice if you had UI hosting configuration? Sure, yeah, that'd be great. But I don't blame Apple for not foreseeing that the thing that you're trying to do was a possibility. They're like, oh, you want a solution for doing this? The solution is don't do this. You're going to migrate the first tab now, then the third tab, then the second tab later? Makes sense. Swap out the entire custom tab thing? Yeah. I think that's a good idea. I think that's something that you should do. Now, one option that might work would be to disconnect the table view and the tabs now. And then you could do the thing that I was saying, which is that you make the tab view control a child view controller. And then you have a child view controller that has the correct table views in the second and third tab. And it is actually swapping out entire UI view controllers. And then your first UI view controller is just a UI hosting controller. And that you can do all in SwiftUI. And then you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. You get to use SwiftUI for your thing, and you roll back this bad architecture decision. And you're basically fixing your UIKit stuff at the same time and unlocking the ability for you to do Xcode. Or sorry, SwiftUI, not Xcode. Sounds really difficult in the current app you're following. You just don't think you have the skills to do it. Yeah, fair. And yeah, again, I don't know what the architecture of your app looks like. So I can say like, oh yeah, just swap out some child view controllers. And that might not be at all easy. Like, I don't know what communication your tab view has with the parent view controller there. Like, I don't know what it's doing. So I can say, yeah, that should be totally easy. But, you know, you've got some kind of weird abstraction in the middle of it that makes it completely difficult. So I don't know. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for me tonight, everybody. Thank you all for watching. I will probably work on this over the weekend. I really want to have this done. If I have to make it another week without having this trailer done, I'm going to be quite grumpy with myself. So I really want to have this. I want to work on this so that I can actually ship this trailer, go fill out that dev kit agreement, do all of that, and just, you know, get that off my plate. So yeah, I'll probably work on this over the weekend. So you may see some streams, and just, you know, at random times whenever I feel like it. And you're here to keep us focused. Yeah, exactly. I don't think that I could sit here and focus on this the entire time. So I think I do need the breaks every so often. But I also need... what you guys are missing is how much... how little focus I have when I'm not streaming. So even the amount of focus that I do get when I am streaming is still better than the focus that I have when I'm not streaming, where I'm not focused at all. I mean, as I said earlier, I tried to do this yesterday, and what I ended up doing was writing a blog post and redoing my beta launch page. Like, no Kineo was done at all. So, yeah, no matter how much I get distracted by this stream, it's still better than what I get on my own, just in general. So, anyway, thank you all for watching. Have a great weekend. If I see you between now and Monday, awesome. If I don't, then yeah, I'll be back at my regular time. Probably at my regular time Monday. We'll see. I have a work offsite this week, all week. I don't think I have anything going on Monday night, but yeah, we'll see. But basically, the next 3 days worth of streams. I'll see you if I see you. If I don't, I don't. Sorry. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to stick to my schedule on Monday night, but you know, we'll see. We'll play it by ear. Anyway, yeah. Thank you all. Have a great weekend. See ya.